Good afternoon to this man all the way George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, this weekend is going to be a major event. It's one of the biggest shows in the Wings of Strength Female Bodybuilding lineup, and it is most definitely Olympia qualifier. And this is one of these shows, one of the two shows where it's major points opportunity, and most definitely is a qualifier. And this is the Wings of Strength, Chicago Pro. And the Chicago Pro this year, as you know, there's still issues with the pandemic. And as you know, last year was done in Atlanta, so it's going to be Atlanta again. You know, the state of Illinois is they are not going to have a lot of major contests and shows. As you know, the city of Chicago, it's still kind of under some restrictions. And I think they have some guidelines and limitations for crowd capacities. So that's why they decided to move the show back to Atlanta this time. And, this is pretty good. Personally, if I could, I would love to go there because, Georgia's not that far from, North Carolina. You can drive to there. I could probably take a bus. It's a good, it's a good way. I can, I wouldn't mind going there. I was on Instagram, and Helena Trevino, she even invited me to come just because she was going to be there. I wouldn't mind seeing her in person. I mean, she's amazing bodybuilder, great body. I'm a big fan of Helena. And this is going to be the 10th anniversary for the Chicago Pro. It started back in 2011. And this is a Tim Gardner show. And Tim Gardner put on some good shows. Even though the Puerto Rico didn't have a stream, but this time, this show is going to have a stream. So, I'm going to put the stream information for the show in the description. You check it out. If you're a fan of it, most definitely. I don't want to pay for streaming if I can afford it. But, like I say, if any of you want to watch it, that's cool. I'm a cheapskate. I live on a budget. And it's about the end of the month, and I'm trying to stretch $1. So anyway, this is the official list for the women's bodybuilding. And this is a large lineup. I mean, there are a lot of bodies on this show. I mean, this is the biggest lineup of, in any, I mean, from the count, this is over 19, this is 19 women. And I mean, this is, as you know, this is a Olympia qualifier. And this is one of the bigger point shows. This is the Chicago and the Tampa are the two bigger point shows. Even if you take second place, it's enough where you already got a straight shot to the Olympia. And also, you have the Miss International show, which is a part of the Chicago Pro, which is where it's a pro qualifier. So competitors who compete at this show, who compete at the Miss International show, can also compete in the Chicago Pro too. So, so that's because this is, I don't know the amateurs who compete at that show. So I'm just telling you, once I get that information, I'll probably do a video on that later. But I'm just gonna focus right now on the pros. Now, there's a lot of familiar names on this list. I'm gonna name right now. We have the top is one Miss Rita Bella, who's really from Argentina, but she lives in Queensbury, New York. One Miss Gina Calaverio, who competed at the Linda Murray last week, and she's from Tampa, Florida. Stephanie Flasher, who's from Zanesville, Indiana. Now, Stephanie competed at the Omaha Pro, and she just switched to bodybuilding. Omaha was like a couple of weeks ago. Now, we have Patty Hansen, and she's from Washington State. And Patty, as you remember, she earned her pro card at the Miss International last year. And she also competed at the Chicago Pro. And this is her return, so, and she also, as you know, if you're Miss International, you get an automatic buy at the Rising Phoenix. So, this is her return to where she earned her pro card. Now, also is on the show is Susanna Jacobs, who we hadn't seen since the Puerto Rico Pro. Akima Jones, who earned her pro card back at the Pittsburgh Pro about a couple of years ago. I follow her on social media. We've been talking back and forth. Jessica Kendrick, I don't know much about her. Brittany Larson, she's from my home state of Rayford, North Carolina. Rayford's not that far from my state. That's pretty much almost up the road. Tamira McRae, I follow Tamira. She competed both at the New York Pro and also at the Linda. Now, also another name is Hella McGrath. Haley McGrath. Haley did the Tampa Bay show last year. She was one of 7 competitors. Now we have the return of Christina Mendoza. Now Christina hadn't seen Christina since the Savannah Pro. She took a break from that show because she felt like she wasn't in better shape. She wanted to come in better condition. So that's pretty good. One Miss Eva Montgomery, Sheena Oleg. And I'm a fan of Sheena. We often talk back and forth on social media. Melina Perron, if I got her name right, she's from Canada. We got some good numbers of women from out of the country. That's pretty good. Angela Rayburn, who I call the usual suspect. Tracy Rugged, from Florida. Donna Saleem, this is going to be a fun. We hadn't seen Donna since her last show, and that was the Chicago Pro. So this is going to be her second show in Chicago. And Shanahan, and we hadn't seen Ann since the New York Pro. And also Gabriela Pena de la Vega, and we hadn't seen Gabriela since the Linda. That was a week ago. Now like I said, I reached out to Rita Bella, and a while back she said she wasn't sure she was going to be competing, and she hadn't competed since the New York Pro, and that was last year. And I've been a fan of Rita Bella. I think she has amazing physique. She's been competing for the sport a long time. She's a veteran. She's a legend, and I'm hoping she do well this show. I've always been impressed by her physique. I think she's a great person. We talked back and forth on IG. A while back I sent her a package. She's a very proud, strong Argentinian woman, and I hope she does well at this show. It's really, I think it's really how all the other competitors are going to be. But I think I don't know. This might be her swan song. I think she does some stuff. I remember she mentioned she also trains other competitors. I think she might have a future as a trainer. I think she might lean on that. Now we have Gina, and Gina, as you know, she earned her pro card at the Chicago Pro at the Miss International show, and she competed also at the Chicago Pro. So this is her return for her to the Chicago Pro. She competed at the Linda Murray show last week, and she took, I think, 7th place at the Linda Murray. This show, I think she should have skipped. I think she should have skipped the show. She should have maybe shoot for maybe the Tampa or the Savannah. She should maybe, I think she needs more time. She's friends with Helena Trevino. She trains with Helena, but I think she needs a coach that can really focus on her 100%. I said it before in another video, and I think she should have skipped the show. Maybe just either focus on the Tampa or Savannah. But like I said, I like Gina. I really do. Now we have here is Stephanie Fletcher. She just switched from women's physique to bodybuilding. I saw her do the interview with AJ over at Female Bodybuilding Channel, and she's pretty impressive. I think she made a good switch. She's a possible top 3, top 5 contender, and she has a great physique. I'm gonna put the video where she did an interview with AJ, and you re-look at her. And she in the interview she mentioned how well Linda and Alina Pupa talked about her, and and I think she has a major physique. She said at one point she only want to say 5 years, and AJ said 10, stay 7. I think she might do pretty good if she stays maybe 7 years. She's very aesthetically pleasing, attractive. I think she has a future in the sport. Now we have here is Patty Henson. And Patty won the Miss International in the heavyweight division. She gained a pro card at the Chicago Pro and competed at the Chicago Pro also. So there's a possibility that if she comes in great condition, she might make top 5, maybe top 10. Top 3, that's a stretch. But if she comes in a little more size, because she did the Rising Phoenix, she did do wear the Rising Phoenix, I think this is the thing is, you just got your pro card. I think she should have skipped the Rising. It was an obligation to do the Rising. She should have just skipped Chicago. And give it time to do a good prep. She might come in better size. But she has to come back because, She earned her pro card at the Chicago, and she want to prove herself. We cross the fingers, might see her come back at the Tampa Bay, or also maybe the Savannah. Those are the last two shows for the point system for the rest of the season. As you know, there's a show, there's the Muscle Fest, but that's for next season. Now, Susanna Jacobs. Now we haven't seen Susanna since her fifth place showing at the Puerto Rico Pro, and Susanna is an ambassador for the Wings of Strength. There's quite a few ambassadors and Wings of Strength on this show, and to me, I have an issue with her because she's been winning too many of those contests over there at the. I vote quite a few competitors over there. But it seems like there's too much bad stuff in for her. She has a lot of followers. That's the way it is. But you know what? There should be a guideline over there when they do these shows. And Wings of Strength need to put guidelines. Cut out all family and friends. And cut out all trainers and everybody. It should be just strictly people, real people. You should research any competitors, social media. If you are a family or friend, you should be disqualified. Because she's winning too many. I mean, I saw her how she won Best Abs over Asher Hadley. Over Asher Hadley? Oh my, that's just, that's just ballots. That's ballot stuffing. That's just straight out ballot stuffing. But she's possibly top 5 or maybe top 10. Depending how all the other competitors look like, that's all how far she's going to get to me. Here is Akima Jones. I love Akima. She's just beautiful Afro Latina. I mean, just beautiful. I mean, I think she's from Cuba. She's Cuban descent, and she just got a pro card back in 2018. She's finally competing. And the thing about her, she is a nurse back in California. She's from Rancho Cucamonga, California. She's a nurse, and she was working mostly during the early stages of the pandemic. And she was able to find time to train and get ready for this year's bodybuilding season, especially being a nurse during the pandemic. I want to salute her. I want to thank her for her service. And not only that, she's a mother. I did a video about her being a mother and an athlete, and I have a lot of respect for Akima Jones. I think she's a beautiful woman, a great competitor. I hope she does well. Depending on how she does in this show, she is a possible top 10. It's gonna be. I'm gonna say it right out. Top 5 is gonna be a stretch, depending on how all the other competitors do. But top 10 competitors good. I hope that she has more shows. Don't do the Tampa. Too much politics. What I hear about from other competitors. Maybe do the Savannah. And then if you're gonna do any shows, I'm gonna talk about this for later. When I get through this video. But I love her. She's a beautiful lady, and I think she's a great physique. Oh my God! I'm gonna do like my Joker. Well, hello, beautiful, and she is beautiful. Now here is one Miss Jessica Kendrick. I don't know much about her, but from this picture, she competed at the Pittsburgh show. She is, by the look of it, she was a figure competitor. That means she did figure for a time. She might have did physique, but now she might have just jumped up straight to bodybuilding. And she's, like I said, a true dark horse. I can't say how she's going to do. I couldn't find as much social media stuff. I just got this picture from her last competition. I wish I could find more social media stuff on her. So she's kind of, what I say, really up in the air. It's all where how she's going to land. I doubt she'll make the top 10. If she don't come in, but these judges are trying to push the classic physique. They want to, you're pushing a lot of physique competitors, trying to get that Donnelly Bailey look or the classic Corey Everson look back into the women's bodybuilding. But you can't keep pushing that. You got to go for it. There's a double standard in women's bodybuilding. The guys can look big and freaky, but the women can't go beyond. I understand that, but you know what? It's just, you can't keep double standards on women. You can't contain these women. They want to be more, but we know what it is because you want to be more inclusive. For the women to be more recognizable. But it's a debate that I don't want to get into right now. And here is Miss Brittany Larson. And she's from my state of North Carolina. She's from Rayburn. That's up the road from where I stayed at. Rayford's not that far. That's Hoke County. And Hoke County is just a hop, skip, and jump from my county, Robson County. And I wouldn't mind reaching out to her during an interview. I hope if anybody watching this video, share it. Maybe you know me, share. I would love to talk to, especially like somebody like her and Whitney Armstrong. There's also a couple of other female physique and bodybuilding competitors who I love to talk to in my backyard. I would love to talk to these ladies who are in my backyard because I like giving recognition. She earned a pro card back at Nationals. She competed as a heavyweight bodybuilder. I think at one point, she also competed as physique. I believe so. I wasn't sure. I follow her on social media. She's crazy. Her and her boyfriend. One time I saw her, she dressed up as a hot dog. She posts a lot of social media stuff. I follow her. I like her. I think, how's she going to do this? She has the aesthetic looks that the judges like. She's a top fiver. Top three, it's all depending how the rest of the lineup looks, but she's most definitely a top 5 contender. That's a possibility. Now here we have one Miss Tamira McRae. And Miss Tamira, I'm a fan of hers. I follow her on social media. She just competed at the Linda show. She did the New York Pro. She took third in New York Pro. Her points status is doing pretty good. And if she can make the top 5 of this show, as you know, the Chicago, there's more points this show. And I think top 5, you can probably get 3, maybe 3 points, I think. Because even if you take second place, it's enough you're automatically at the Olympia. It's enough for even if you win, if you qualify and win the show, if you take second place, you're automatically at the Olympia anyway. So that's what happened with Rashawn Bosworth. She took second place, she was automatically. She had enough points because she won the Omaha, last year. I feel like she still got screwed out last year because they say her back, but that's not. And I'm disappointed that my girl Rashana didn't maybe make the show because I think she still has some issues. Because I think she will create a couple issues. Maybe she can make it next year, or she can try to do Savannah, or try to do the Norfolk if she can. I'm just hoping. But anyway, Tamara, she didn't do too well at the Linda. I think she got 8th place, I believe. And her, she mentioned she was on social media. The judges approached her about her conditioning. If she can squeeze out a little bit, come in better condition, she can probably make the top 10. As you know, I will talk about certain things about certain women later when I'm finished this video. But like I think she's pretty impressive. I forgot how many points she is. I think Jared mentioned the points she had made at the New York. But like I say, she can make the top 5 at this show, she might be able to make a qualification for the Olympia. Now, I have here is Haley McGrath. And Haley, she looks pretty impressive. She, she's been around for quite some time. She competed last year at the Tampa Bay. She was only one of 7 women to compete at the Tampa Bay Pro. And, she's making a return at the Chicago. We might even see it at the Tampa Bay again. She's from Denver. And that's a long way to come to, but, she's a go-getter. I mean, I've seen her before. She competed quite a few shows. She's been kind of quiet since before then, but now she's making a return this year. And how she looks, it's all depending on how the judges think. Like I said, I'm talking as a fan, not an expert, as some people say, but as a fan. And I do like her physique, She is to me, she's a true bodybuilder. But the problem is the judges don't like true bodybuilders. They are pushing for more of certain looks and certain styles. But I think, it's all depends on how she's going to land at this show. And there's a lot of bodies she has to contend with. Now here we have Miss Christina Nicole Mendoza. And Christina, we haven't seen her since the 2020 Savannah Pro. And where she mentioned during the interview that she wanted to sit out the rest of the season last year and work on a few things. And Christina, one time she's saying she was thinking about doing wellness. But, she started as physique. And wellness is now, I think, she's too far past the wellness. And for this picture, this is the most recent picture she got. And I'm telling you now, wow, my God. She is almost definitely, I think, there's going to be a battle for top 3 for her. I think if she don't win the show, she's top 3, most definitely top 3. First, probably second. Anything below that, it's going to be a travesty. Like I said, the judges, it's kind of funny with these judges. If there's one thing out of place, her back got to be absolutely, if it's anything out of place, like I said, this is funny about these judges. If you have a total package And one thing can be out of place. It could be your quads, could be your back, could be your abs, it could be your calves. They just, I don't know. The judges are funny. But Christina looks so impressive. Look at her. My God. Her shoulders look like boulders. Her lats are in. Look at her arms. She's just really has become a true bodybuilder. I mean, that sit out the rest of the last year was good for her. She's really coming in her own. I mean, and like I said, she has the looks that the judges like. She's at there. She's aesthetically pleasing, very attractive. Most definitely, if she doesn't win the show, she's making top 3. That's just me. I'm not, like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm not a judge. I'm a fan. Here we have Miss Eva Montgomery. I don't know much about her. She did earn her pro card back in Nationals about 2018. She hadn't competed for a while. She must have been training other competitors. I follow on social media. She looks pretty impressive. If she can really come in better condition, she has some size to her. This is her picture from her training right now. This is a picture from her last competition. But if she can come in a little more size and better condition, I can't really say. I'm not gonna say top 5, top 10, and she might bottom out. It's all dependent. Like I said, there's a lot of bodies this show, but it's all dependent. I'm not a judge. I'm a fan, as often as I say. Now here we have Miss Sheena Oleg. I'm a fan of Sheena. She's impressive, and she has a look to her, great body, great physique. I was talking with her. She was on IG Live. She does some charity work. Her mother recently had a lung, I think it was a liver transplant. I hope she's doing well. I understand taking care of her mother. She takes care of her mother's business. She does. They do charity work for addicts. I respect her. I really respect Sheena. I think. Sheena is most definitely, depending if she, look at her right now. If she comes in great condition, Sheena is going to make a top 3 contender. I think it's going to be a battle between her and Christina for the top spot. And she's impressive. I'm right now I'm talking with her about upcoming interview. I usually don't talk about this stuff, out of school, but I'm hoping we get things together. I did a video where she loved that video I did with her and Jada Beverly, and I think that's the reason why she really wanted to do this interview. I'm hoping once the season settles down, we get to talk. I mean, she's a lovely lady. I really like her. I like her. She does a major physique. I even mentioned that she reminded me of another bodybuilder. I remember I told her where she was at the Omaha, that somebody confuses with another bodybuilder, and I'm right now. As next month is gonna be a free month of comparison videos, and I'm already got a plan of comparing her with another bodybuilder. So be on the lookout of her. So I'm saying she's gonna make top 3. If there's gonna be a battle for first and second, I think it's between her and Christina. Most definitely, it's gonna be a battle between her and Christina. I can see it. Anybody else, I don't see them being fight between her and Christina, but I think it's going to be between her and Christina going to battle for top 3. I think the judges, because like I said, a lot of physique competitors are getting the push, and I think between her and Christina, those are the top 2 going to fight for the first spot. And I think I wish best of luck for both of them, especially to Sheena. I support any black woman of melanin, any sister of melanin in the sport. Here we have one Miss Melina Perron. Now, she's from Canada. And as you know, I'm doing my series of Canadian Canucks, classic Canucks. And, I'm not know a lot about her. I know she competed. Her last show was at the Europa show in Spain. And that's been a while ago. She looks pretty impressive. She got the size. But she's not going to make top 10. She probably is going to bottom out. She's probably going to be they go up to about 16. So she might be one of those going to tie for 16th. Even if she comes in great condition, the judges are going to critique at stuff especially around her abdominal area. You can see the scarring where she looked like she stretch marks. She had kids. And I think she also has been a little bit overweight. And that's what the judges are going to see. There's nothing you can do about that. It's just the side effects of being overweight. There's not much you can do about it. Even though her body is in amazing condition, there's nothing much, you can get, there's a little kind of oil stuff you can use. You can get rid of the stretch marks, they say, but it's, I don't think there's much you can do. I think she's going to be, one of those days going to probably be tied for 16th. If anything is that. If she does make me 14th or 13th, maybe, but, she's not going to do too well this show. She should have skipped this show, do another show. Now, we have here what I call always the usual suspect, and that is one Miss Angela Rayburn, the Warhammer. Angela has already done 2 shows this season. She has done both the Omaha Pro and the Linda. And I think at the Omaha, she took 6th place. At the Linda, I forgot where she placed at the Linda. Angela has been in the game for quite some time. And this is the thing is it time for her to pack it in? I don't know. And as you know, she's getting up there. She's about 50. And the thing is, when you're getting older, you can't, your collagen body, the human body can't contain the collagen they had when she was younger. But she still comes in great shape, for her age. The bit is that, she should have kept, with so many bodies, so many up-and-comers, so many new blood, this is possibly a show she should have considered skipping. I know she has points, but even though this is a big show, most chance for points for this show, but there could be chances she might miss out on making the Olympia this time. I don't know. It's just up in the air on this one. Here we have a young lady by the name of Tracy Rugged, and I follow her on social media. And I think Tracy was a physique competitor, and I like Tracy. I follow her. I think I reached out for her doing an interview. And I think she's very attractive. I mean, guys, this is what I say to the guys. Guys look at the muscle, but I'm looking at the face. And even without the makeup and like that, I think she's an attractive young woman. How's she going to do it just in the division? I don't know. If she don't come in the size and condition to compete with some of the bigger women, she might not do too well. She might make a top 10 spot, but I think she would be better off staying in physique. I know the judges tell you, you might need to go with the bodybuilder. Sometimes you always these head judges. They're thinking what they want you to think, but you should think for yourself. And maybe, I don't know, maybe she should have stayed in physique. I don't know. But she is pretty impressive. She has a great body. But if she comes in with a little more size and condition, she could be a possible threat. I don't know about this show, but maybe she should have done the Puerto Rico if she had a good condition, or maybe New York, or maybe done the Omaha, or I think, don't do the Tampa, maybe try the Savannah. Those are shows, try some of this, like some of the solid small shows where there's not too many bodies. We can have more opportunities and see how you place. Like something like the Chicago and the Tampa are 2 biggest shows to take a chance on. Here we have one Miss Donna Saleem, and I follow Donna Saleem. We talk back and forth a little bit on social media. I like Donna. She's a wrestling fan. Her husband's a wrestler. She was telling her husband been working with her prep for this season. As you know, she's also Wings of Strength ambassador. I've voted for her on some contests. I saw her doing interviews at the Linda, and she looks pretty impressive. She looks like she really put on some size. She's kind of lean for a bodybuilder, but she looked like from her videos I've seen, she looked like she put on some size. She really developed. She's from the bluegrass state of Kentucky. And you know what? If she really, where I'm going to place her, she's a top 10. Most definitely a top 10. Top 5, it's too much to stretch. Depending on, like I say, where the field's looking right now, she could probably make top 10. But top 5 is too much to stretch. But I like Donna. I hope she's doing good. She's a true godly woman, as we were talking. She's trust and believe. Like my mom always says, trust and believe. And I think she's trusting and believe. But I have hope for her. But she's most definitely a top 10 lady. And I hope she does pretty good at this show. If not, she always can focus on the Savannah. The Tampa's too crowded. Tampa's going to be too crowded this year. I feel like Tampa's going to be crowded, but she can always try for Savannah. And here we have Miss Anne Shanahan. And Anne She's been in the game for a long time. She's been, for a good while, she was doing powerlifting. She made a return last year at 2020. She did a few shows. She competed at Chicago also last year. And is pretty impressive. I think she has a great body. She has all the, she has the size, but it's issue about its conditioning. And she didn't do too well at the New York Pro. I think she took fifth or fourth of that show. And it wasn't that many bodies at that show. I like Ann. I follow her on social media, IG. She's following me on my page. We chat about doing an interview. I'm hoping I might get an interview with her sometime soon. This show is, I think this is a show where I think she should have skipped. She didn't do too well at the last Chicago show. And I think this is a show that she might have decided about skipping. Maybe she do Savannah or do another show that I'm going to talk about later in the video. But Ann, I like Ann. She has a look to her. I think she's kind of cute. I think she's kind of cute. She has a big smile. And I think she's a. I mentioned that she's a wife and a mother. And I did and I have a lot of respect for women who are wives and mothers, and that's competing in bodybuilding. I have a lot of respect for her. And last but not least, in the sport about from the country of Mexico, is one Santa Rita, Gabriela Pina La Vega Pina. Let me get her name correctly. Machina Rita Gabriela Pina de la Vega. And get it right on the third try. I want to be respectful. And she is, as you know, she started out originally in bodybuilding. And she's, for a good while, was doing physique. But she decided to go back to bodybuilding. And she did pretty good at the Linda. She took 4th place. To me, she should have been 3rd. I mean, you know how I feel about the situation in the Linda. The judging was crappy. And she should have got 3rd place at that show. Most honestly, 3rd place. And to me, this picture right here tells you that she is a true bodybuilder. Her physique is amazing. She's going to be in the top 5 of this show. I'm not gonna say I'm guaranteeing, but she's gonna be top 5. And I follow her on Facebook with Facebook friends. We've been chatting back and forth. And you know what? She's been really. One thing was she's been waiting for the pics from the Linda show. I just sent her some last night. They just posted the pics from the Linda show on NPC online. I just sent her a copy of hers. She's very grateful for me for sending those because she's been looking for like so many other competitors, and I think she's pretty impressive. I think she's a beautiful lady. I'm hoping to get a chance to opportunity to talk to her. I'm not sure how well she speaks Spanish or not. I think she might speak some pretty good English. If not, I might reach out to Alicia Florio because she's pretty cool. Maybe she can be a translator for us. I love to talk to her. I love to talk to these ladies because I know she's Facebook, but I love to talk to these ladies that from different worlds, from different countries. I want to be an international emperor of female bodybuilding talk. And this is one person I would like to start that with. Other than, I got Christina Lay from Australia. I love to get a lady from the other side of the border close, especially from Mexico. I would love to talk to her. And I think she's a impressive physique. I think she can do, most definitely she's making the top 5 this show. Maybe she might take 3rd place. I say most definitely, Christina and Sheena are going to fight for 1st and 2nd. And she can probably sneak and take 3rd. And 3rd, and third might be enough points for her that if she can do a show like the Tampa and maybe take 2nd, 3rd that show, she's already at the Olympia. So I want to wish the best of luck to Senora de la Vega. Now, this is the list for the women's physique. As you know, physique is kind of growing on me. The last couple of years, I've never been a big fan of it. Originally, I called it women's bodybuilding watered down. It's kind of like, best way you can say it is kind of like, I would say it's between women's bodybuilding middleweight, maybe towards women bodybuilding lightweight. More like women bodybuilding middleweight. Because, I think men's figure is more like women bodybuilding lightweight. Because those figure women are pretty impressive. So I'm not going to focus too many competitors because there's so many names. A lot of ladies I'm not familiar with. I'm not going to name them all because I don't want to spend too much time on this video, but I'm going to focus on just a few that I follow on social media, those I recognize. Now, first off is one Miss Elizabeth Bradshaw. She's from Texas. I follow her on Facebook. I reached out to her and her husband, Philip, about doing an interview sometime soon. I hope they can do it maybe after the season's over. Once they slow down. I think she's probably going to do the Arizona Pro, because that's also a show that she's done before last year. Also, one Miss Patricia Gossling. She's from Canada. She did an interview with AJ over at Female Bodybuilding Channel. Sharona Hinton. We hadn't seen her last competition. She was out for a couple of years. She competed at the New York Pro. Theresa Investigation. I will talk about that one later on in the interview. Yeon Kim from South Korea. Let's see else is also Sheena Washington. There's also Machina, who competed at the Omaha Pro. And also, that's about it. I mean, these are ladies that I'm a little more familiar with because I follow on social media, and I recognize them more. A lot of these ladies I don't recognize, so I'm not going to focus too much on. Now, as I said, Miss Elizabeth Bradshaw, Mrs. Elizabeth Bradshaw, as I follow her on Facebook. I reached out to her and her husband about doing an interview on the show. I'm hoping they, get in contact with me once the season is over. She competed at the Arizona Pro. She's pretty impressive. She has the aesthetic looks that make a great physique competitor. That's where I think she belongs in. I think she's most definitely a pure physique competitor. I don't think she belongs in bodybuilding. There's some people that might belong in the sport and some people might not. And I think she's a pure physique competitor. She's very lean, just has a great look to her. A very attractive woman too, I would honestly say. I think her husband, Phil, is a very lucky man to have such a beautiful woman. So I hope she does pretty good at this show. I think she's most definitely a top 3 contender for this show. Now, here we have Patricia Gossling from Canada, and she did an interview with my man, AJ over at Female Bodybuilding Channel. She's impressive. She's young. She has a great physique. She's competed a while. She competed at the Toronto Pro. I think it was the last competition some time ago. She has a look to her. She has a young youth, great body, weight development. I think she's another one. I think she should stay in her division, but there's a good chance that she might get to push to bodybuilding. I think there might be talk about her maybe going up maybe sometime soon. I don't know. Just talk, just scuttlebutt, as they say. But I think I think I'm working on she's gonna be part of my Canadian Canucks with Classic Canucks. I don't have that many physique competitors in the Classic Canuck because I don't follow a lot of physique competitors from Canada, other than maybe another physique competitor from Canada I follow on Facebook. But I might do a video on her. Here we have is Sharona Hinton. Now, we hadn't seen Sharona since the New York Pro. Sharona was out for a while, for a couple of years, and she returned at the New York Pro. She didn't do too good at the New York Pro. She took second place. There was a lot of talk that she was going to take first, but she took second to Alicia Kinseling. And I think she took some time off because, to work on some conditioning and maybe, to come in better shape for this show. As you know, this is a show. I don't know how the system works for physique. It's not the same with Wing Strength have the point system. I don't know how the physique does it with IFBB. IFBB is totally different compared to Wings of Strength because I think this is a must win for her. But she can probably do the Tampa or maybe do Savannah Pro. If she comes in great condition, there's a good chance she'll probably be at the Olympia this year again. But it's all up to how conditioned it is. There's a lot of there's a lot of competitors in this show. A lot of them I don't know. I'm just, like I said, it's all depending on how she looks to the judges. Now here is, I'm gonna say oh ho ho ho, somebody's gonna be in trouble. And I'm not meaning good trouble. I'm meaning bad trouble. Theresa Investigation, she says she's going down to women's physique, and she does not belong in women's physique. As we know, last year she was given a win at the Chicago Pro. I most definitely say Rashana Boswell should have won that show, but like I said, the issue with the judge was because of her back. But Rashana had the overall package compared to, um, you know, um, to Theresa. You know, I should always turn off my Wi-Fi whenever I do these videos. But she's too big. This is from the Olympia. She's too big for the division, and she needed more time. I mean, it's not as easy to from a bodybuilding to jump from bodybuilding to physique. I remember back in 2001 when Linda Murray decided to switch from lightweight to compete lightweight in the lightweight division at the Olympia, and she was really ashamed of herself. But you know what? She took that time off to drop a lot of size. Truthfully, I believe Theresa needed some more time to drop the size. She's just too big. She's just too big for the division. She's not going to do too well. She's going to be tied for 16th or making 15th. If the judges give her anything higher, then it's a travesty. Especially in that division. I mean, especially women who are pure physique competitors. So I don't know if she gets anything higher than 15. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, we have Yeon Kim. If I got a name wrong, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go by Kim. And she competed in New York Pro, and she's impressive. I think she has a look to her. And there is a growing market for Asian bodybuilders, especially from Asia, from South Pacific. Remember back in the day, there was a great number of bodybuilders, of Asian bodybuilders, such as Brenda Ragnar, Becky Rampey, Don Riley, Ma'an Mendoza. I mean, you have Sarah Wee, what's the name? What's the name? I've got the name right. There's a great number of female bodybuilders from South Korea, China, Hong Kong. I mean, there's one bodybuilder I follow from Philippines, Abby Jimenez. She really wants to compete, but the Philippines have very strong travel restrictions. It'll be 2023 before we see Abby come compete. But Kim, she's impressive. She did third place at the New York Pro. And I think she's a top 3, top 5 contender. I think she most definitely is. She has a look to her, great size, great development. If she comes in great condition, she possibly top 3, top 5. It's all dependent, how well could she come in and what the judges like. And I think they probably like, because, Asian women are a little more petite, a little more leaner, even with the muscle. But I think she can probably do well at this show. Here we have is Amanda Machina. Machado. If I got her name wrong, I'm sorry. But Amanda, she's been wild quite some time. She competed quite a while. She earned a pro card, about a couple years back. And Amanda has a look to her. She competed at the Omaha Pro. She took second in that show. So the thing is how well she would do. The Omaha's been a couple of weeks. So if she can really bring in the conditioning, and she's also a client of Alina Paupa. Now, if Alina can really bring her condition to a level where she is top notch, she's winning this show. And Alina, she has worked with some lot of great competitors and really bringing some great. I was talking with a physique competitor who is maybe thinking about switching to bodybuilding, and possibly, or even staying in physique, to switch out to Alina. I know, like I said before, she says she still has a trainer, a coach, but it never hurts to maybe get advice from Alina. Alina, when Alina sees somebody she likes and who has potential, she really wants them to do good. And, just good to reach out to her. But Amanda, I think if she'll win the show, she's taking second. If she'll win the show, she's taking second. I see that. She has a praise of physique. And she has the looks the judges love. Very aesthetically pleasing, very attractive. So if she only wins it, she's taking second. Here we have is Sheena Washington. Sheena is been a while for quite some time. I follow social media. She's been busy. She already done a couple of shows that mostly have mainstay where the female physique is the leading in the women's division. She did the Ultima show in Louisiana and the St. Louis Pro. I think she took second at the Ultima and third at the St. Louis. If I'm wrong, you can tell me in the description. But I've been following her. She's an impressive woman. She is a great. I love my Nubian muscle women, my muscle melanin women, and I think she's pretty impressive. There's a good chance that she might go to bodybuilding, but as long as she's doing pretty good in the physique division, she's not leaving. Like I said, I've talked to the other ladies, and as long as some of these ladies do, even if they're doing bad in the division, they'll stay. But if someone doing as good as she is, she'll stay. She is also a possible top 3, top 5 contender. So there's going to be a battle between her, maybe Kim, also, Patricia. And depending on the other competitors I haven't named, is how it's going to look. So she's in the top 5, top 3. But she's impressive. I just love her physique. I just love this picture of her right here and on the left. Just beautiful, beautiful. Maybe I reached out to her about doing an interview. Maybe she might respond once the season's over. I'm just crossing my fingers. So that was the list for the Chicago Pro, both in the women's bodybuilding and the physique competitions. Like I said, I didn't focus too much on physique because so many names. I didn't know all of them, so I didn't want to concentrate too much. I just concentrated the ones I knew. But I most definitely focused on women's bodybuilding because that's the sport I'm focusing on. I've been a fan of women's bodybuilding for forever. But this is a pretty good show. A lot of bodies for women's bodybuilding, 19. And then you got to think about, there's also the Miss International show, which is a Pro-Am qualifier. And, some of the women, like I say, the winner of the show gets automatic bye to the Miss International. Miss International gets automatic bye to the Winter Strength Rising Phoenix show. And she can also compete at the Chicago Pro. And the other 2 competitors who are at the overall can also compete at the Chicago Pro. So that means there'll be 22 women at the show, or maybe 20. Or sometimes 21. It's all dependent. But one thing I want to talk about is this. As the Chicago Pro and the Pittsburgh Pro Masters on the same week, this weekend. They already started the Pittsburgh Pro Masters the 21st. It started yesterday. And the rest of the Pittsburgh, the whole thing started back in the 21st. And the Pittsburgh Pro Masters really started the 22nd and 24th. But this is where I found out that the Pittsburgh Pro Masters is not an Olympia qualifier. Where it should be. There's a lot of competitors who will have opportunity to compete at the Olympia. It should be as I did a video about a couple of competitors, like my buddy Mr. Big Keith and one Miss Mary Ann Wachowski, if I want to get a name right, and they're both competing at this show. And this should be, the IFBB should make the Pittsburgh Pro Masters a pro qualifier. And the Winter Strength should also, be part of it also, is for competitors on points. As you mentioned, I was mentioning certain bodybuilders like Jean, Angela Rayburn, Malene Perron, Tamira McRae. I was talking to Tamira. She said she wouldn't mind doing the show, but she said she's right now in Chicago, but she might think about doing it next year. There's some ladies that should skip this show, Chicago, and should have done this show. And this show was a pro qualifier for the Olympia, and maybe points for the Olympia. Some of these ladies would have done this show instead of doing Chicago. They would have, because there's women's bodybuilding at this show. So I don't know. IFBB, Wings of Strength, get off your tails and make the Pittsburgh Pro Masters Olympia and Wings of Strength qualifier. Give these competitors, especially for the men's bodybuilders, for the women's for the men's bodybuilders and the women's bodybuilders, opportunity to compete also for the physique competitors, opportunity to compete at the Olympia. So what you got to do, what papers got to sign, make it done. All right? So it'd be fair. There's competitors who want to compete at the Olympia who will not be able to compete. Give them a chance to prove themselves on the Olympia stage. Anyway, this is your man, all the way Judge Pay, a.k.a. the Emperor of Bodybuilding Talk. Don't like, subscribe. Don't subscribe. I'm out.